got himself into, I don't know. So instead of just saying, I fell in love with this side piece from my work, I hated my wife, I'm not a man enough to even say what I was having issues with in the marriage, and I didn't want to pay child support, and she was, I think he thought that Shanann was going to ruin his life with child support and never seeing the kids. And my point is, I would have respected him a lot more if he would have just said, I just did not want to live this life. I met this girl at work. I wanted to live that life. I was not man enough to deal with the consequences of leaving this life, so I killed him. That would have been, I would have had so much more respect for him if he would have just said that, than just being like, well, geez, like, everything was just going towards that direction, and, you know, this soup had all this bad luck in it, and I don't know what happened. I just, you know, and it was just like, what, Chris? This wasn't bad luck soup. You know? And so that my first part of this, analyzing the Chris Watts interview, if you saw it, was a lot of dealing with that kind of stuff, of like the big question of why, Chris, why? And so this one, I'm not going to try to understand the lizard boy anymore in this one. I'm just going to kind of go through, I just sort of, so that first one was the first hour of the interview. This one is parts 2, 3, and 4, and I just kind of went through and jotted down little stuff that I had been wondering. So this one's going to be much less heavy and much less wise diving than the last one. But, alright, so let's get into it. One is he knew everything about the case, which I had wondered about. You know, he's in a little room, sitting next to a toilet. That's his new room. He loves sitting next to his toilet in this shitbox room. And so I wondered, does he get updates on the case? Or, you know, is he really just shut away in a little hole? And that was answered. Seems like either guards or people that transported him basically told him everything. Anything that Graham and Tammy brought up about the case, like this weird person that wrote you a letter in, and he'd be like, oh yeah, that person heard from the guards, or that person, XYZ, or whatever. So that was, I thought that was pretty interesting. Again, just not even close to admitting the whole interview that it just wanted a new life. It just didn't want to pay for his old life. I think that that's what it was, is he was just thinking, I'm going to have to pay child support for the next 18 years because I had these 3 little kids, and Shanann is just going to, you know, try to wring me out for everything I'm worth. It's more just a money thing. And he's like, I want to go live with I want to be with my new, you know, girl from work. I forgot I had a family because I was gone for a month. And, yeah, so I thought it was interesting when he was talking about being in the jail in Colorado, just how everyone was telling him to kill himself and banging on the walls. And I'm glad that he had that experience for at least a little bit. And there's no guarantee he's going to be at this prison forever. So he could maybe get transferred to another hardcore prison. But one thing that he said is, he said that an inmate had told him, everyone had been telling him to kill himself, and that he had thought about doing it. He thought about listening to him. And he said that one guy, while people were telling him ways to do it, one person was like, yeah, you could stick your head in the toilet and kill yourself. And that cracked me up. It's like, I kind of want to meet the guy that suggested that to Chris. Just like, Chris, yo, you could stick your head in the toilet.
Way to go, Cecil!
You know, that is a viable option.
I'm sending you the pickup location now.
You never want to be there. You never want to
Sending you the location for pickup. I'll meet you there.
Life, where a viable option where people are suggesting, yo, after thinking about your situation, I think that you could put your head in the toilet until you're dead.
Hey, something's wrong.
That's pretty
Everyone
good.
Go check on the package.
That's a good suggestion for you. I really never want to get to the point in my life where a viable suggestion is putting my head in the toilet. That was a funny suggestion. I was
Those assholes are not going to stop coming, so let's get the fuck out of here.
You know what? You should put your head in the shitter. Alright. And, okay, so regarding the story of, you know, that he just made the girls ride out there alive, I had thought for sure that he had just done everybody in at the house. And so, you know, it's heartbreaking that they rode out there. That ride, picturing that ride is just one of the saddest things, in my opinion, with this whole case. And so they get out there and he's describing, you know, he brought Shanann out to the little spot that he buried her, and then he's talking about what he did with the girls. And Tammy asks him, what was going through your head while you were doing this out there at the site? Because it's just, he kind of went into just like a robot mode, it seems like. And so I was really curious about that question too. What goes through a mind as you're killing one daughter and then carrying her off? And Chris said, nothing, just nothing. I wasn't thinking. If I was thinking, none of this would have happened. And they didn't press him on that, and I really wish they would have, because that sounds like a Chris Watts answer of... That just sounds like what he says when he doesn't want to give the answer, of just like, hey, what do you think? I wasn't thinking. If I was thinking, then none of this would have happened. Doesn't that kind of sound like your normal, borderline charming Chris Watts, where, you know, if you just met that guy and you didn't know that he annihilated his family, you know, that's sort of like just a nice dad answer. Like, what were you thinking about that? Oh, I wasn't thinking. And if I was, we wouldn't be here. And you'd be like, oh, Chris. You know, but since knowing what he did, it's like, all right, dude, you gotta put your head in the toilet. Do it. But they didn't press him on it. They just kind of let him get away with. And I know they don't hold any power. Hey, come on, Low T. Hey, everybody, check it out. Low T. All right, you sit here. Sit with me.